I'm not naked, I promise. I am wearing pajamas. It's Deidre. Hello, it is Deidre, and today we are going to read a story from Relationship Advice, r/Relationship Advice. I think this one is really important because it's a topic that we talk about quite often on this little channel, it seems, and I'm interested. I, 25 female, think my boyfriend, 25 male, is trying to make me jealous on purpose? Help! Hi everyone, 25 female here. I'm looking for some advice or insight because I'm genuinely confused and feeling a bit drained. My boyfriend, 25 male, and I have been together for 3 years, and we live together. This is my first serious relationship where I felt real love. And even though I was pretty inexperienced before him, I can't help but feel like some of the things he does are really mature. There's this one girl he's close with. I've mentioned her before because I noticed how often she comes up and how close they seem. I wasn't trying to be controlling. He has plenty of female friends, and I've never told him he can't talk to someone. I've always tried to be understanding and secure, even when I felt uncomfortable. Today, we were just doing something casual together and he showed me something on his phone. Her account came up and he pointed it out right away, then looked at me and smiled. It felt really intentional, like he was waiting to see how I'd react. I didn't say anything, but it honestly felt like he wanted me to be jealous. What makes it worse is that I've had an outburst about her once before. He knows your weakness now. He's the one that's going to exploit it. I got emotional and reacted in a way I'm not proud of. And to be honest, I embarrassed myself. Poor thing. I apologized. And he told me he never wanted to see me like that again. Oh girl, I hope you did not fall for this. He loves to see you like that. Anyways, especially because she doesn't see him that way. That really hurt, but I owned up to how I acted. He always says he never gets jealous. I assume because he feels secure with me and trusts that I wouldn't do anything shady, or the fact that he preyed on a person that is loyal and naive. For this very reason, but okay. But the way he's acting lately feels really insecure. It's not just this jealousy thing, he lies about small things, says he compliments me a lot even though he really doesn't. They never do. The only time they compliment you is to trick you into doing stuff. And overall, just kind of twists reality in subtle ways that leave me doubting myself. No. I don't want to go into every detail, also because he uses Reddit, LOL. But it's enough that I'm starting to feel weird and off balance in the relationship. This is your cue to get out of this relationship. You're not supposed to feel confused in a relationship. All of you out there who are currently in relationships, if you feel confused, you're not in the right relationship. So I'm struggling to understand this. If he doesn't want to see me upset, why would he keep doing things that feel like they're meant to provoke me? This isn't a one-time thing either. It's starting to feel like a pattern. There are just a bunch of contradictions in what he's saying. Does he want me to be jealous or not? Is it insecurity, immaturity, or something else? All of the above, girl. I really love him, but I'm starting to feel stuck on what his intentions are. If his intentions are not clear, this is not a healthy relationship. It should never be confusing like this. If someone actually really does love you and want to take care of you and, work things out together when there are disagreements in a healthy way, then it's clear this is a healthy relationship. However, this gentleman is thriving on chaos. He likes to see you confused because it gives him a sense of control. He knows you're better than him, and he knows you can do better than him. So the next best thing he can do is confuse you and kick you down a couple notches so that you never get close to seeing that truth in yourself. Instead, you're running around confused and posting on Reddit, which, it's okay to do that. TLDR, boyfriend of 3 years is making me feel jealous on purpose by mentioning and speaking fondly of a close girlfriend I've previously shown discomfort with. Yeah. And like I said in my other video, when guys have female friends like this, that is a situation that I do not take seriously. That is not a situation that I will walk into. Because I don't know this guy, number one. And chances are, if he is a little toxic himself, he's gonna turn to that girl to weaponize her against you. And some girls like to be that girl. Some girls know exactly what role they're playing in this situation, and they become like a partners in crime to cause issues, to cause jealousy. They collaborate to make you feel insecure. Unfortunately, there are girls like that out there, and I'm just speaking from the perspective of a woman, okay? I know gender doesn't discriminate when it comes to toxicity, but I'm just saying it from my perspective. Some women like to be that secret weapon, and some guys purposely keep them around for exactly that reason. They may not even be messing around together. They may not even be having a relationship on the side. They don't have to. I don't have an issue with a guy having friends that are female. But when it crosses certain boundaries and I see my own boundaries not being respected by either person, there's going to be a problem. And this is something I meant to say in my previous video as well on this topic. The guy can have a female friend. Hell, have a female best friend. But if you call a girl your best friend and she doesn't respect the boundaries of your partner and crosses those boundaries and doesn't take a step back from you knowing that you are in a relationship, that's not a best friend. Even if it's innocent on your part, guy, I would expect a female best friend to respect you enough to back away and let you have a healthy relationship. That's what a best friend is. Now, if the best friend still thinks she's the main character, main female in his life, and he actually backs her up by maintaining a connection to her that is way too close for comfort of his girlfriend, then it's not going to work. So yeah, let's go to the comments and see if we can learn any more about the situation. Someone says, maybe just ask him what he's doing. Tell him that you understand jealousy to be a character flaw and you're not going to fight some other woman just to keep him. Explain that if he'd rather be somewhere else, you will happily help him pack. If you don't take the bait, but just calmly ask him WTF he's angling for, then he'll be the one on the spot having to explain himself. See, I'm not one to feel the need to confront nowadays. If you make it hard for me to be in a relationship with you deliberately, like this guy has been doing, her gut told her that was on purpose, and obviously it does sound like it's on purpose as I read it. That's not a person to be in a relationship. I would be out that door so fast. I don't want that person to explain anything to me, because if you give this person an opportunity to explain himself, he will take that opportunity to manipulate you and throw you off again so that he can continue doing little things. Even if he says, I swear, baby, I'll never do it again, and oh, I love you, and you guys move on, expecting a healthy future together, he's gonna do it again. He's going to be more subtle about it, and it's going to be more exciting for him because he knows he was able to drag you back down with him. I don't want to be with a person who blatantly does things to upset me or hurt me, even if they go on to promise that they wouldn't do it again, because it doesn't mean that they're not going to do it again. It just means that they're going to find more discreet ways to do so. And I'm not here for it. Honestly, next time you see him doing this kind of stuff, just straight up ask him in a demanding manner what he is doing / what is his point in all of this. Then just watch as he starts to struggle to find a reason. Stand up for yourself. Do not shrug these off as no big deals when they in fact are causing you unnecessary stress. I don't know. I don't care to confront this, honestly, like I said. And I don't see him struggling to find a reason. I see him pulling some, oh, my childhood type card and crying, getting on his knees, etc. possibly. It's better to not give anyone an opportunity to do stuff like that. Another commenter says, this unserious guy could be spending his time making your life better. The point of a relationship, surely, but instead is choosing to keep you, as you say, off balance and perturbed. Seems like you've had enough time to figure out his pathetic act. He doesn't deserve you. I agree. You don't need answers. You don't need to observe or monitor him. You don't need to be asking him to explain. Like, just, it's over. If you care about yourself, it's over. Even if you confronted him, I think he would only turn it against you and accuse you of being jealous and insecure. That's exactly how it works. And a lot of times both of those people understand that. When you have a guy that has a girl on the side and they triangulate to get at you when he is not happy with you or he's jealous of you, you freaking sitting at the table drinking coffee in the morning makes him feel insecure. So he does stuff like this. When he uses that other girl to knock you down a few notches, have her pictures popping up on his phone, and you call him out for that, you will be the one that's called crazy. You will be the one that gets attacked for looking at his phone or whatever the frick. That's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be a silent form of torture because a lot of guys like this know that the girl doesn't want to be seen as insecure, so she will avoid speaking about the boundaries that she's noticing being crossed. But the moment she does speak out, she's painted as insecure. She's painted as crazy. That's exactly how it's designed to work. Either you say nothing and suffer in silence and he gets his rocks off watching you, be uncomfortable about this other girl, or you speak up for yourself and he attacks you and says that you are crazy. And on top of that, a lot of times they have mutual friends as well that back them up because they have no idea the monster living in this person's head. Where were we? I don't have an explanation why he did what he did, but I can tell you from experience that some people are just toxic and mean. Yeah, I can't imagine flaunting how close I am to a guy in front of my partner when I know it would upset them. Exactly. Would you do that? That's a good way to gauge what's okay and what's not okay. Ask yourself, as an empathetic person, would you do that? And if the answer is no, that is a red flag. And OP responded to that comment saying, "Thank you for your response. The first thing you said really resonated. Anytime I brought up a concern, he'd say I was overreacting and completely dismiss me. I was constantly stressed while he seemed totally different. I always approached issues calmly, but he'd still make me feel like I was being unreasonable. Most of my concerns were about how little effort he put into the relationship, which he admitted to, but talking about it always led to pointless arguments and never wanted. At one point, he even said he's not used to certain things and wants me to fix him." If you are in a similar situation, please do not fall for that one. They are not looking for anyone to fix them. They're preying on people who want to fix and help and heal others, so that they can lock in and do stuff like this to them, just so they could feel a little bit higher than somebody with a lot of power. I think a lot of empathetic people don't know how much power they hold within. And unfortunately, we put that power into unhealthy, toxic people like this. He knows your weakness. He knows you want him to heal. He knows you want to help him. So he's saying, "Oh, all I really need is your help. All I really need is for you to fix me." And when I do try to fix things, he brushes it off as me overreacting, even though multiple people have brought up the same concerns to him. So this recent situation with the other girl and the way he looked at me, like he was trying to provoke me, just felt so childish to me. Good girl. That's why I posted this in the first place, because he blatantly told me that he thinks it's funny when I'm annoyed. Oh, he actually told you that. Interesting. So IDK if that's it. No, that is it. What do you mean IDK? Clearly. And the original commenter responded to her saying, "I'm sorry that you had to go through those. It took me longer than I'd want to admit to realize that a person who's dismissive of my feelings and indifferent to my pain didn't care about me. Despite what he claimed, you are not crazy to have feelings, and you are not unreasonable to want to communicate your feelings to him. It feels like gaslighting to me that he wants to make you question your own sanity." Oh, he loves that. I'm sure he loves that. And him thinking it's funny when you're annoyed is just so wrong. Taking pleasure in a stranger's misery is bad enough, but taking pleasure in your partner's pain? Whatever you decide to do with him, please know that you are not unreasonable for feeling upset about the situation. At most, you two have different opinions on the boundaries with guy/girlfriends when you're in a relationship. But this doesn't mean you are wrong to want what you want. Respect. I think it's a very reasonable request to want a boyfriend who respects your feelings and sets proper boundaries with his close female friend. P.S. I completely disagree with the comment that told you to get psychotherapy. Jealousy and insecurity are legitimate feelings, especially when there's a good reason that they are triggered. By their logic, everyone who's ever gotten angry would have anger issues and need to see a therapist. Yeah, I think that was some pretty solid advice there. I like that commenter. You're dating your biggest hater. It's just that straightforward. That's exactly what it is. The scary thing is, when you're in a relationship with someone, you bare your vulnerabilities to them. They are the person that knows what hurts you. And a toxic person will use that to access your pain. That is the key. The things that you fear, they will then turn around and weaponize against you when they're not getting their way or when they feel insecure. Some even get triggered for stupid things like you having a job. They don't want you to have a job because they don't want you to see other men. They don't want other men to see you. That makes them feel insecure because they know you are worth being loved. And that there are plenty of people out there that would love to love you. They don't want you to see that. And they take that out on you by throwing those weaknesses at you. That's why I say when you first meet someone, don't be too quick to share what hurts you. There are so many other conversations that you can have. Don't open the relationship by exposing the key to your pain. Let them get to know you first. This commenter says, talk to him about it and explain you can't have a future with someone who goes after your self-esteem. You don't have to explain that. Just don't do it. He's counting on the fact that you are unlikely to leave because how empathetic you are towards him. Life's too short for mind games. It is. It really is, and unfortunately a lot of people like to play mind games on purpose. Now this is a comment that seemed to upset a lot of people. -6. There's no way to tell if your reactions are reasonable or not unless you give a lot of specific examples. So far, all you've detailed is you feeling insecure and jealous, which you should be seeing a psychotherapist to address. But you might have good reason if he is emotionally manipulating you. Even if you have good reason to feel insecure, you're not recognizing that and responding appropriately. So either way, psychotherapy. I guarantee you, that is her boyfriend. And OP says, sorry for being vague. Like I mentioned, it's wild to me that she started her comment out with sorry. This person literally gaslighted her and she apologizes. I've brought these things up with him directly, but he tends to just do whatever he wants anyway. It's not about me being insecure, and I just don't like being lied to. He told me he was going on a trip alone, but I later found out he actually went with another girl. Naturally, I was upset, not because of the trip, but because he lied. And he lied for a reason, and you know that. As for this girl specifically, he reinstalled Instagram just so he could talk to her again after taking a break. Even after I told him I felt a bit uncomfortable with their dynamic, and not because I mind him having female friends, but because some of the messages between them seemed off. He still keeps bringing her up in this odd way. The specific thing that irked me today is that he looked right at me while saying her name, clearly expecting a reaction, but I didn't give him one. I love that. You go, girl. And that was all the comments. What do you think? Personally, well, she's 25 years old. I think she's quite young, but it sounds like I think she's going to be okay. She knows what doesn't feel right. And it sounds like she's not afraid to act on that. Like when she refused to give him the reaction, for example. That's good. I don't think she's terribly attached to him emotionally, which is great. I hope she gets out of there. This was posted, 30 days ago? I hope within that 30 days she got herself out of that situation, because WTF, that's not a normal relationship. That's not love. Even if you can't write it out on a piece of paper or communicate to someone else what doesn't feel right, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't feel right, you have every right to pursue your own peace. I might look her up on here just to see if we can get a wee little hint of an update. Yeah, it looks like that's her only post on this account. What are your thoughts on this situation? Have you ever been in this kind of situation yourself? If so, what are some strange things that you noticed? I think it's important that we keep talking about this, because the more we talk about it, the more we help inform others. If we can help one person in such a situation to make the decision to pursue their own peace and remove themselves from these unhealthy dynamics, it was worth it. So let me know what you think. Share your story. Never hesitate to share your story on my channel in my comments. If you like this video, this discussion, this exploration of relationship Reddit, please be sure to hit like. And if you would like to see more from me, I usually read relationship Reddit. Mostly. Feel free to hit subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified when I post, because I'm trying to post more often. And I want you to see it.